materials are a steam engine made?
Iron, steel, brass, white metal, and so on.
And where do you find these metals?
In the rocks.
In a pure state.
No, iron. And ores.
And are the metals suddenly deposited in the ores?
No, it's the patient work of countless ages.
And you have one of the engines just spring right out of the ores.
Yep. A brittle one, not valuable.
Yeah, well, that engine gonna be very, worth much?
No, substantially nothing.
And how to make an engine? How would you then proceed?
You would drive tunnels and shafts into the hills, blast out the iron ore, crush it, smelt it, reduce it to pig iron, or put it through the Bessemer process and make steel of it. Mine and treat it, combine several metals of which brass is made.
Then,
out of the perfect result, build the fire engine.
you would require much of that one.
Indeed, yeah.
It could drive lathes, and drills, and planers, and punches, and polishers, in the word of the coming machines of great factory.
You could.
Well, what would the stone engines do?
Driving a sewing machine, possibly. Nothing more, perhaps.
Men would admire that machine more than they would rapturously praise it.
Oh, yeah.
But not the stone one.
No.
The merits of the metal machine would be far and above those of the stone one.
Of course.
Personal merits.
Personal merits. What do you mean?
It would be personally entitled to the credit of its own performance.
The engine? Certainly not.
Why not?
Because its performance is not personal. It's the result of law of construction. It is not a merit, and it does not do the things which it is set to do. It can't help doing them.
And is it not a personal demerit that the stone machine does so little?
Certainly not. It is no more, no less than the law that makes it permits and completes it to do. There is nothing personal about it. It cannot choose. It's the process of working up to matter. If your idea is to work up to the proposition that man and a machine are about the same thing, and there's no personal merit in the performance of either?
Yes, but do not be offended. But I mean no offense. What makes the great difference between the stone engine and the steel one? Shall we call it training? Call it education? Shall we call it the stone engine of a savage bond and the steel one a civilized one? The original rock contained the stuff of which the steel was built, but along with the lot of sulfur and stone and other obstructing inborn hereditaries brought down from the old geological ages. Prejudices. Let us call them prejudices, which nothing within the rock itself had either the power to remove or any desire to remove. Will you take note of that phrase?
Yes, I've written it down. Prejudices, which mean nothing within the rock itself had either power to remove or any desire to remove. Go on.
Prejudices must be removed by outside influences or nothing else. Put that down.
Very well. Must be removed by outside influence or not at all. Go on.
The iron's prejudice against ridding itself of the cumbering rock. To make it more exact, the iron's absolute indifference as to whether the rock be removed or not, then comes the outside influence and grinds the rock to powder and sets the ore free. The iron in the iron ore is still captive. An outside influence smelts it, free of the clogging ore. The iron is emancipated iron now, but indifferent to further progress. An outside influence beguiles it into the Bessemer furnace and refines it into steel of the first quality. It is educated now. Its training is complete, and it has reached its limit. By no possible process can it be educated into gold. Will you set that down?
Yes. Everything has a limit. Iron ore cannot be educated into gold.
Well, yes. There are gold men, and there are tin men, and there are copper men, and leaden men, and steel men, and so on, and each has the limitations of his nature, his heredities, his training, and his environment. You can build engines out of each of these metals, and they will all perform. But you must not require the weak ones to do equal work with the strong ones. In each case, to get the best results, you must free the metal from its obstructing prejudicial ones by education, smelting, refining, and so forth.
So, you have arrived at man now.
Yes! Man the machine. Man the impersonal machine. Whatsoever a man is due to his make and to the influences brought to bear upon him by his heredities, his habitat, his associations. He is moved, directed, commanded by exterior forces. Solely, he originates nothing, not even a thought.
Oh, come. Where did I get my opinion that this which you're talking about is all foolishness?
Oh, it is quite natural opinion. Indeed, the inevitable opinion. But you did not create the materials out of which it's formed. They are odds and ends of thoughts, impressions, feelings gathered unconsciously from the 1,000 books, 1,000 conversations, and from streams and thoughts and feeling of which we flowed into your heart and brain out of the hearts and brains and centuries of ancestors. Personally, you did not create even the smallest microscopic fragment of the materials out of which your opinion is made. And personally, you cannot claim even the slender merit of putting the borrowed materials together. That was done automatically by your mental machinery, in strict accordance with the law of the machinery's construction. And you not only did not make that machinery yourself, but you have not even any command over it.
This is too much. You think I could have formed my opinion with that one?
Spontaneously? No. And you did form that one. Your machinery did it for you. Automatically, and instantly, without reflection or any need of it.
Suppose I had reflected. How then?
Suppose you try.
I reflected.
You mean you have tried to change your opinion? As an experiment?
Yes.
With success?